So welcome every latest Ladies Who Lunch conversations, and we have a very special guest today that I am very keen on introducing you to. I've known her for some time, and I've really appreciated her. Her name is Bronya Shillo, and she is the founder and CEO of Fisher's Island Lemonade. Let me just I'm putting her phone number in so we can bring her up. She is down in New York now, so we're getting closer to it. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, Bill. So thank you. So here I am, and I'm waiting. So I'm nice and cozy, and I have been drinking my Fisher Island Hot Toddy, so, it's sort of promoted. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm an author and a blogger. These are my books. And I wrote about Ladies Who Lunch on Savoring Gotham is my one. So, I adapted that. And I've been interviewing very inspiring women for some time. And for me, seeing, so there she is. So this is great. So thank you, Bronya. So nice to see you. Wonderful. So here we are. Welcome, welcome. Cheers. Normally I drink champagne, but today I've been enjoying your wonderful hot toddy. And you and your team sent these beautiful little bottles, these fabulous mugs. My Marty Scorsese Bill is like zooming in, so he's showing you these. I mean, I have to say, even before I first met you on a Zoom call, and then of course live at Governor's Island earlier this year, but I've loved your cocktail from the get-go, and it's all about the taste. I had been introduced to a similar product before, who remain nameless, but it just didn't work. So for those that may not know you, which is surprising, but I'm just going to read a little bit about your background. So Bronya is the founder and CEO of Fisher's Island Lemonade. It says from your bio that you had an aha moment for Fisher's Island, FIL, the original canned craft spiked lemonade, while working behind the bar at her family's inn, the only bar and restaurant on Fisher's Island in New York. The FIL was the signature house cocktail and one that Bronya wanted to make ready to drink. And then in 2014, Bronya launched FIL, pioneering the ready-to-drink craft cocktail category as one of the first cocktails launched in the U.S. under her leadership. The best-selling recipe of barrel-aged whiskey, premium vodka, honey and lemon, and has expanded into 4 varieties plus a spiked Spirit Pop, and is now ranked as one of Drizzly's top-selling canned cocktails. So congratulations to you for, I think, really creating this whole craft canned cocktail category. So I want to first ask, who influenced you? I mean, you worked at your family, or was your parents in?
Yep, so I grew up on Fisher's Island, and the name of the establishment was called the Pequot Inn. So that was really where I got my start behind the bar with my family. And that's the original home of Fisher's Island Lemonade that we started canning in 2014. So really got my influence in the bar scene and the cocktail scene just really from experimenting behind our family bar. With my older sister and my cousins, and ultimately my dad was a bartender as well, and his father a bar. A little bit there in some of the family tradition.
Yeah. So, so that's what encouraged you and got you going with your family. But you have this great recipe, but then to be able to put it into to create a category. I mean, canned cocktails, I mean, I've covered food and drink for many years, and, you know, bottled or canned cocktails for a long time was not really thought of as, you know, like high caliber kind of drinks. But to get the taste and the recipe consistent, like how, you know, what was your motivation for that? And then to how to mass produce it? How did you come about that?
Well, it all started, really in early 2000 when I was bartending at a young age, 18. And the recipe, Fisher's Island Lemonade, which is consisting of vodka, whiskey, spirits, lemon, and sweetened with honey and pure cane sugar, was something that was served at our family bar for many years. And I just continued to see how much it was ordered. Frequently, we had to catch it and we'd run out of it. So that aha moment really came nights when I get pulled off the bar to continue to have to restock us and rebatch, in the back of our kitchen. So as I was for a bottle of beer and pouring, other cocktails, I thought, man, this would be a lot easier if I could just crack open a can just like I do with other, ready to serve, beverages and beers. So I started, just experimenting at our bar and trying to figure out how I could start putting liquor in a can, which was something that not many people or many companies were doing. There was a lot of craft beer, there's a lot of cider, there was not much seltzer at the time, and I originally started putting it, on tap, and then eventually I figured by putting it in can, I could distribute it widely, off the island and on the mainland. So we started distributing it in Connecticut, in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, and then continue to add, a couple of different states every year. But slowly and steadily just trying to spread the word and educate people on what we were doing, which was making canned cocktails in the ready-to-drink segment more widely known and educating consumers and buyers all around. So ultimately, it came from demand is really the influence of putting everything in a can today, which has really sort of paved the way for a lot of other brands to come into the segment. And just really, offering a nice, clean option in the premium sector where you get 6 times distilled vodka from a corn grain, which is very smooth, and a barrel-aged whiskey. So you are getting high-quality ingredients all coming in at 9% alcohol by volume. So in a 12-ounce can, that could be shared amongst 2 people and considered 2 drinks.
Perfect, perfect. What was the most challenging element when you were trying to bring this to market?
Just trying to stay true to using quality ingredients. I got asked a lot of times if we would switch over to malt because there's more areas of distribution and it could also be made for much cheaper, at retail as well. So continuing to stay true to how we started. This is a real cocktail that was enjoyed by people before we ever put it in can and brought it off island. So I wanted to stay authentic to, the roots of where everything came from and continue to elevate, the quality of ingredients that we had access to as we went to sort of the commercial side of promoting the brand.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, and I think it's just such a happy, drink and brand and cocktail. I mean, the viewers can see, and I'll put up the picture. I put it up of you, but the yellow and blue. So I was trying to do homage to you with my blue and then yellow jewelry, and well, of course, I have feathers because that's on my tablescape that goes along with it. But it just seems so happy, and all your social media is the same. It's like people really enjoying it. I mean, I posted at one point, I guess it was last summer, that when I finally found the place near us at our country house, by the beach where I could purchase it. I mean, I bought, Bill, 2 cases or something, and I'm like, that's all I could carry home. But we enjoy it so much on the beach time or outside. It's convenient, it's delicious. But now this hot toddy idea that you had, so you've been doing this for some time, right?
Yeah, so the hot toddy is an excellent way to enjoy Fisher's Island lemonade year round in the colder months as we start to embark on winter here in New England. Fisher's Island lemonade consists of vodka and whiskey spirits, so it's really nice to be able to sort of play around with different cocktails within this cocktail. It's not carbonated, so that allows you to really, shake up the can and play with it. You can put it in a shaker. You can pour it out into a stovetop pot and add your cinnamon stick and bring that to a boil, and then maybe add a little extra shot of bourbon or rye. And then that comes to basically your at-home hot toddy recipe. So it's very simple. You really only need 3 ingredients, but feel free to play around with it. So you just really need Fishers and a cinnamon stick and maybe some extra brown spirits.
I mean, your team sent me these lovely little teeny bottles and things, which are also well wrapped and designed, and I love the cup. I looked up the origin of hot toddy, and they said some of the, as in any cocktail, there's many fathers to it, or mothers, I should say. But they said it came from India, and it was a toddy, and then others said it came from Ireland. And I kind of go with that a little bit because most drinks, and I had this in my Art of the Garnish book, they did start as medicine. So I think, with your hot toddy, with the lemon and the honey and the whiskey, it's very good for winter. When it's warm like that, it's good for people's throats and, good health.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice way to enjoy a cocktail in the winter months. I mean, you sip on it, you don't drink it as fast probably, which, it's a little bit higher in proof. But as you mentioned, sort of as a remedy or as a medicine, the influence that I had in order to, take Fisher's Island lemonade as a cocktail in a can and make a hot toddy came from me bartending in the early years of starting the lemonade company. And a gentleman came in and asked for a cocktail. They didn't know what they wanted, but they had a scratchy throat. And so I had made them basically a hot toddy with using Fisher's Island lemonade. So I went to the back kitchen and I heated up the lemonade and added a cinnamon stick. And they, were just completely surprised that you could do this with the same drink that they were enjoying in the summer months on the beach.
Perfect. Do you reach out mainly to consumers or, viewers and people that I would associate with, or do you also reach out to mixologists and bartenders to help them create or craft? Because this is not only great right out of the can, but like you say, it's also a great mixer.
Yeah, so the base, the regular Fisher's Island lemonade does make a great mixer. We kind of promote the fact that it's an elevated sour mix because it does have that natural lemon. It does already sort of lend itself to being a fun base because it is not carbonated and, really what doesn't go with lemons, which is kind of the reason why we came up with the other SKUs, which is the Fisher's Island spiked tea, which is really a half and half blend of iced tea and lemonade. And then the Fisher's Island Pink Flamingo, which is again half lemonade and half cranberry. So those were the new SKUs that we developed in 2021 and came out with a variety pack to continue to promote people's awareness around the variety of flavors that we offer today.
This would be like a perfect holiday hostess gift also with the variety pack. I'm just thinking, like, that's very cool. Do you sell direct or is it always through the retailers?
So we do sell direct through our online FILlemonade.com, and you can go right there and have it shipped to your doorstep, depending on the state that you live in and the regulations that exist. But also, you can go to any of your liquor stores down the street and have them bring it in for you. So if you're looking to bring that as a hostess gift, so it's a wonderful favor.
Exactly.
You can also look up our recipe for the hot toddy. It has a nice instruction video of how to do all the recipes on our website.
Yeah, I see that, and I was sharing some of your other recipes that, I've enjoyed over the past 2 years or so, and also from Governor's Island, which was a really cool event. And I also wanted to ask you, you're kind of still a newlywed, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fresh actually no, just over a year. Excuse me. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, so I was going to ask, how do you balance, like you do a lot of traveling and you have a lot of, work related things. So how do you balance this career with your, home life now?
Well, I have a fantastic team that has been able to sort of help grow the brand and expand really our footprint and not only where we're offered by each and every state down the East Coast, but also in the different offerings that we have, such as the variety pack, the Spirit Popsicles, the Fisher's Island Fizz. It's definitely wonderful to be able to share this with the team that we've built. It's a constant challenge to try to figure out how to balance that work-life balance. But having a supportive family is wonderful. And, Fisher's Island Lemonade has been an awesome journey to help continue to create more and more awareness around this wonderful category of canned cocktails. It's been really fun to share this with everybody and, do events like Governor's Island on National Lemonade Day and continue to give people a better offering of, clean spirits and better for you options in the canned cocktail category.
I like that clean category moniker. But also, I love that you have, it's a female-led company that you say, and you've hit all these benchmarks, like you've grown 57% last year and 3 times growth in 3 years. Do you think your focus on like a female-led company has been like you paved the way for this whole category of craft canned cocktails, but do you think also, do you see yourself as a leader in a female-led company?
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful honor that people are continuing to recognize that this is something we started in 2014, and here we are almost 8 years later. It's been kind of surreal. Sometimes it feels like 2 years, sometimes it feels like 20 years. But our distributor partners and honestly our fan base has been really very supportive and continuing to push us to grow as well, asking us to become distributed in more states than we originally were in just New England. We just opened up the state of Florida this past year, as well as South Carolina and Vermont. So we're continuing to expand our wings and bring Fisher's Island to more and more states. So as a small independently owned brand, female founded, we're definitely tackling quite a bit, and we welcome more entrance to this category just because it creates more awareness as to what actually is in the can as distilled spirits versus say a malt based or a seltzer. So it's great to have some partners.
Absolutely. Oh, I tip my hat to you. And if you were advising, say, a woman that's watching now and she wants to start a business in this, not specific category, but maybe in the drinks category or in the specific category, but what advice would you give them? I mean, does it have to be a family owned? Do they have to have all that pedigree, or how would you counsel them?
I would say the two things that come to mind that definitely resonate with me probably day in and day out is do your research. Make sure that you're thoroughly reviewing the business that you're going to be starting and investing in, because it does take up a lot of your time, and passion is something that continues to really help drive that success. So between doing your research and having true love for what you're doing definitely helps propel all of that success. But ultimately have confidence and love what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice. And do you think people like who are going into the business, do they need better financial advisors, or to be able to grow a business? I mean, it takes a lot of investment, as you pointed out.
Yeah, that's an area that ultimately you're going to probably need 5 times more than you think you're going to need to start. I'm lucky that I had a base in business marketing when I went to college. That's something that always was interesting to me. But review the numbers. Our distributor partners have been great since the beginning, and feel like we've built this together because ultimately they are helping us sell this at retail and continue to help us grow the brand. So lean on them, ask them questions if you're not sure, and feel free to speak up.
I think that's great advice. I have to ask, I have started doing these creative, cocktail napkins that I honor the women who've, come before. So people can look on the website and see. We're just going to launch like the second one. So this was for the New York City ballerina. So it's Megan's Manhattan. That's what she liked. And this one is a French 75 from an interior designer, Tony Sabatino. So, I mean, you're, in the groove here with your own drinks, but do you have a favorite cocktail?
Do I have a favorite cocktail? Oh
Yeah.
man, I feel like that's an endless cycle for me. I really enjoy experimenting and trying new things. It depends on my mood whether I'm trying to mix and experiment with Fisher's Island lemonade and how we came up with a hot toddy, or I really don't discriminate. It could be beer one day, it could be martini, it could be a half and half. My husband can definitely attest to my indecisiveness.
I'm like you. It's that, some people have a signature cocktail, and I've written about this in the Art of the Garnish, and others, and I encourage people to drink with the season. So I love your concept of, the hot toddies, because you can use your favorite drinks, and clearly I love your Fisher Island lemonade. It's, so versatile that you can use in different seasons. So, to have a drink that goes with the seasons is wonderful. So I like, martinis, Manhattans, and so on. But this hot toddy is very good.
Thank
So,
you.
yes. So I thank you so much for your time. I know you're super, super busy. But is there anything else that you want to share with the viewers?
This was great. I love your setup. The fire is definitely very fitting and puts me right in the mood for these chilly days. So thanks for letting me share Fisher's Island hot toddy recipe with you and your fans. Uh, it would be unlike me to try to influence people to try to make a holiday purchase with a variety pack or a stocking stuffer with the popsicles. They definitely make great gifts this time of year.
I think so too. And just like your team did, where they sent like the cinnamon sticks. A lot of people don't know cinnamon comes from tree bark. So, all, spirits come from plants. So that's very near and dear to my heart. But so the cinnamon sticks, and maybe like, these little bottles like you did, so they can, help create that. And then the cans of,
Definitely.
like I said, the variety pack. I think that's like a fabulous hostess gift, as well as stocking stuffers, or wonderful. So, well, cheers to you and your continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Happy holidays.
Ciao. Bye bye.
Bye.